say is your personal experience of gender equality? Like, do you feel like if you sort of took, your own experience and hypothetically, the experience of a woman in the same role and with the same experience as you have, would you say that you have fair and equal access to opportunity, do you think?
I don't think so. No, I think it's still. I think the opportunities are still slanted in male favour.
Okay.
I still do, and because the directors are generally, sort of changing. So I've come back into finance because of the move. The finance world is now finally moving towards climate change.
Yeah.
And so I've come into this whole ESG movement. I'm not sure you know about ESG.
I don't know.
You do?
No, I don't know.
So it's called environmental social governance, and there's also a huge sway of getting female into the area.
Okay.
So what my fear actually is actually going to swing the other way.
Okay.
Where it's going to be like ESG now is going to be all females. And like in any human behaviour, one behaviour, two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
I can see it swinging back the other. There could be pockets where it's all going to be all females and no males, and then the balance again is all wrong. I can understand it. I can understand that swing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can understand it. So that's one of my sort of like, okay, let's try and get this balance right.
Yeah.
But in terms of I just think to readdress that balance, I think there's definitely pockets of it, and I think it's definitely increased. So I've got really strong female colleagues in the industries, and they are really doing it fantastically well on merit.
Yeah.
Right, on merit. So what I think females have to be really work like this. There's a thing here like 100 women in finance, and my really good female colleagues who are absolutely really killing it and have got true respect in the industry.
Yeah.
Do not partake in those type of necessarily partake in those type of organisations.
Right.
Because again, it doesn't, for better or for worse, it doesn't have the impact that is intended to.
Okay. Can you sort of can you elaborate on that for me? Like, what sort of impact you feel like it does have?
So this is coming from there's about 3 or 4 of my really good current female colleagues, really good friends who are very prominent in the industry, and they just don't partake.
Yeah.
And the examples are that when the males are come in there, it unfortunately it shows why males have some of the behaviours within that explain why males are still dominated.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is coming from females, and I can kind of understand it because I can see it. I'm like, oh god, this is why the female aren't doing in a place where they'd like to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I suppose I'm not articulating that very specifically.
I mean, I sort of get what you mean. I think so. What you're sort of saying is, if you're the sort of person who's in 100 Women in Finance, maybe that there are behaviours there that you wouldn't find in people who like your friends who are kind of making their own way. Is that fair?
No, it's not totally fair. Because I know some people in 100 Women in Finance who are also fantastic.
Yeah.
And are forging ahead and doing their thing, and quite rightly so,
Yeah.
So it's a really delicate matter. So in any type of organisation, you're going to have people there, part of that, who are doing the right thing with the right intentions, but also to be the right execution. You've got also people there with the right intention, just the totally wrong execution.
Right.
I suppose that goes in any type of organisation. I think there needs to be leadership somewhere, either from the male community. I don't want to segregate males from females. But if I was someone like in 100 Women in Finance, is actually to say we're 100 women in finance, but do the split board. Invite men there.
Yeah.
all they're doing is repeating the behaviour of the golf clubs that won't allow females on the boards. You know?
Yeah.
So, and it's just like, okay, look, it's not actually balanced either way.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I think there's a real opportunity for females to be the true leaders.
Yeah.
in the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And don't change the name.
Yeah, but
you know, keep it 100 women in finance, or whatever, for the time being. But that's what I would, if I was a female, I'd be okay.
Yeah. I think that sort of reflects what I've spoken to other people about. Actually, in the past couple of days, people have said to me, like, women have said things like, 100 women in finance is great, but everyone in there is a woman, and if what you want to do is sort of move the needle on gender equality, how will you do that without any allies present? Which is a fair comment.
Yeah, I'd be a right ally. I'd be there right with them.
Yeah. If you were allowed to be, then that makes sense.
Yeah, no. I've been invited. Just as a minute example, they having a webinar, and I have to be invited to it.
Right.
And it's a screen to be able to go in, which is fine. And then they let me in, so I'm in the webinar. But
okay.
The whole thing is 4 females.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole webinar is 5 females. And you go to everywhere and it's 5 males. Like, both are wrong in my view. Which is my personal view.
Yeah.
It's not balanced.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like you can't achieve balance by going too far in the other direction. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. Okay. And so then thinking about your experience, Hun, have you ever felt, I mean, we'll talk about both sides of this, but have you ever felt personally disadvantaged or discriminated against in the workplace because of your gender?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So every opportunity. So, some of the movement, it's there, people are saying, no, Richard timed it wrong, we're only looking for females.
Yeah.
I've had that for about 4 people.
Right, okay.
So, no. So again, it's the meritocracy.
Yeah.
It's not there. Now saying that, for instance, I'm on the relationship side, I'm purposely pairing with strong, really trusted friends and amazing professional females for that very reason.
Yeah. Okay.
And I actually prefer working with females anyway, so there's also an opportunity there.
Yeah.
So what? But yeah, that is essentially discrimination for being male.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And what about things like we've had people talk to me. You know what I'm saying. I've had people talk to me about things like paternity leave. Do you have any thoughts on that?
That's a really good. I probably should have some thoughts.
Yeah.
I was given a week, I think it was.
Yeah.
This is I'm going to contradict myself here because the maternity law in Cayman is the same as essentially the States, which is appalling.
Yeah.
Absolutely appalling. I don't have any strong views on it, because I'm also a business owner.
Yeah, sure.
And I run a business, and I'm like, what? If I had like my guys out for a long time, then I think paternity leave is really important. I think whether that's a week or 2, I just don't know.
Yeah.
I probably should have a strong opinion on it.
No, that's okay. I just wondered. I think I've had that kind of mixed response from people as well. Like sort of people saying, as a father, my experience wasn't great, but as a senior person in a small business, I know that it's not ideal to have a lot of people out at once, and it's difficult. It's a tricky issue. Okay.
Yeah, I had a week and I was happy with it. I mean, the big thing that changed for me at work is that I was leaving at 5 o'clock every day to make sure I was, spend time with the babies at the time.
Yeah.
And talking to them, and that's the biggest adjustment I made. I said, I'm not working late now. I'm too late. I'll work on later.
Yeah.
But I think a week I was satisfied with, if I answered the question.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Anne. Okay, and then so having thought about sort of when you've been disadvantaged, like on the converse of that, have you ever felt that you particularly benefited because of your gender in the workplace?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately,